Good morning. Happy Sunday and welcome to episode 10 of Coffee and a Card Facebook Live. I'm going to wait for a couple of minutes to let this load, and in the meantime I'm going to find this on my computer. So pardon me for looking away for a few minutes. There we go. All right, so I should introduce myself. I'm Zara Premji. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Markham, Ontario, Canada. And if you're joining for the first time, thank you so much for being here. And please do say hello and tell us where you're watching from. We love to get the chatter going in the comments. And certainly if you have any questions or comments or thoughts, we want you to share those as well. So welcome everybody. Good morning, Denise. Thank you for joining. I hope that you're enjoying your time this weekend. I'll tell you what we're doing today. So I have a color combo that has been my most favorite and most loved of all time. Not that I don't love lots of other color combos, but this one has just been sort of a classic in my arsenal, and it's basically pink and gray. And I didn't even actually do this on purpose, but I realized I'm wearing a pink hat and a gray shirt, so that was kind of an interesting coincidence. Good morning, Kelly. So since I've started stamping, I remember I think it was like maybe my first or second year, I did a holiday card in pink and gray, and it was Smoky Slate and Blushing Bride, and I just loved the color combo together. And so I frequently will go back to that pink and gray color combo. It's kind of just like a staple. And so I'll show you the card that we're making today. So it's this one here, and you can see the pink and gray. And I'm going to show you another one that I did with my team this week. We had our monthly team social, and we do mystery stamping, and I did another pink and gray card. So I'm feeling that color combo right now. I find it very soothing. Do you have colors or color combos that you just feel like they have this effect on you, like you feel calmer or you feel more excited, or I don't know, do you guys feel that way about color combos? So I don't know, that's what pink and gray does for me. So I'm going to be using the Gilded Leafing again today, and I'm going to be using the decorative masks. So I will start by saying that this is probably not a kind of beginner level card. There are some elements to it that anyone can do. So it is kind of, I would say, more of an avid crafter level card, but that doesn't mean if you're a beginner crafter you shouldn't watch this, because it's still fun to watch and learn some of the different tips and techniques. And so yeah, there's a few different elements that will be going into this card, and we are using the Fine Art Floral Suite. So I'm using the Art Gallery stamp set, the coordinating dies, and I'm using that designer series paper as well. So I'm not going to chit chat too much today. I'm going to actually flip the camera down. We will get started and go with the crafting. And please do continue to comment and let me know what your favorite color combo is, or if you find certain colors kind of just make you feel a certain way. I see Janice is here. Good morning, Janice. And you are a green loving girl. Denise loves pink and gray as well. Good morning, Margaret. And Denise, hope you're enjoying the beautiful lake house in Manitoba. Good morning, Carol Ann. Thank you for joining. Okay, are you guys ready to get started? Let's flip. Hopefully you guys have your coffee. I'm going to just take a quick swig of mine. I'm only on my first coffee today. I should have probably been on my second, but I decided to stay in bed a little longer today. Okay, here we go. Look away if you get motion sickness. Okay. There we go. Okay, so what you'll see on the screen here is a little cardstock piece with my information. So this is my website. If you need any information or have any interest in purchasing any of the supplies that we're using today, you can definitely do that on my website. And there's a host code here, and I have a gift every month when you use that host code when you're checking out. And I'll tell you what the free gifts are this month. So I'm actually doing 2 embellishments this month. Usually I do 1. And so I'm doing the Gilded Gems. This is out of our annual catalog, and they are these beautiful gold gems. And then you'll also get a second embellishment from me that is not in our current catalogs, but is brand new, okay? So this one here is the adhesive backed snowflakes. I do have a few of these. When these run out, then I will be giving you a different brand new embellishment, okay? So you'll get 2 embellishments, and then you will also get 2 tutorial bundles. So you will get the All-Star Tutorial Bundle for free. This contains 12 video tutorials done by different demonstrators all over the world, including Australia, United States, UK, New Zealand. It's an amazing lineup of demonstrators, and we've been getting incredible feedback about the projects and the tutorials. So you'll get this for free with your order. You will also get a copy of the Creative Stampers Tutorial Bundle. And this month we are doing Springtime Jubilee projects. So lots of spring themed projects. You'll see there are many Hydrangea Hill projects, and then there are some using some of the other bundles and products in the catalog, okay? So you'll get all of that for free. This is 23 tutorials, so lots and lots of inspiration and ideas and new techniques. Everything has photos, supply lists, measurements, everything that you need to basically recreate the projects. So you will get all of this for free with a $50 or more order in my online store this month, okay? So let me just show you where you can find the Fine Art Floral Suite in the mini catalog. So it's actually the front cover of the suite. And you will find it on pages 32 to 34 in our mini catalog. So let me just pull this open. So this suite has a number of different products included in it. It's almost like a mega suite. So you've got the bundle, which is, the stamp set is called Art Gallery. And it's a photopolymer stamp set that has a great combination of images and then these really fun, like just, I don't know what you call it, like just block letter. There's no fancy script or anything like that. They're just very simple manuscript. And so you get lots of different sentiments, and you can use them all on their own, and they work really well. But what's really cool is in the die set, there's one die here that says just want to say. Okay, so when you cut that out, it'll actually cut the words out for you, and you can combine that with a bunch of different sentiments. So you can say, just want to say I miss you, just want to say sorry, just want to say thank you. So lots of different things that you can do with that die in particular, and you can combine that with other sentiments in your other stamp sets. And then we've got other dies that will cut out the flowers and the leaves in this stamp set. And then we've got these cool dies that will cut out this almost like a postage label, but it's more narrow, of course. And so I like the shape around the border. So a really great bundle. And then also included in the suite, you have this gorgeous Golden Garden Designer Specialty Acetate. You have the Gilded Leafing, which we will be using today, as well as the Fine Art Ribbon. There's an amazing embossing folder and the heat and stick powder, and then we've got this gorgeous designer series paper. So the designer series paper is just fabulous. It's all hand painted and then printed, and it's just got a really gorgeous combination of flowers and then some other geometric patterns, all with kind of this watercolor texture to them. Okay, good morning, Beth. Oh, let me see, I missed your comment. Sitting outside in the sunshine, watching with your tea. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, Denise, I'm glad that you are enjoying the tutorial bundle. I appreciate your feedback. All right, are you guys ready to get started? So let me tell you a little bit about this. This was kind of, there's a story behind this card. So I told you I'm part of the Creative Stampers tutorial bundle group, and I designed this card to submit for our April tutorial because we're featuring the Fine Art Gallery suite. And then when I designed it, I just, like, it's great to have it in the tutorial bundle, but I know that not everybody accesses the tutorial bundle. So I loved it so much that I decided I was going to save it for Coffee and a Card Facebook Live. And I decided to create another card, which is still equally beautiful, but just different color combo. And I used that for my tutorial bundle. So I think they're both pretty, but I just wanted you to know I saved that specifically for all of you, my favorite gals. I'll show you the other card that I made in a similar color combo. So I used this one using the Hey Girlfriend stamp set, and I created another pink and gray card for our mystery stamping with our team social this week. So on Thursday night we had our virtual team social and we do mystery stamping, and so I basically share a layout and tell them what supplies that they need, and then we work through it together and we all share our projects. So it's a really fun thing we do together every month, and I used the Hey Girlfriend for that, that was my first time using it actually, and I really liked it. Good morning. And Shelly, yes, this is a familiar card to you because I gave you a little sneak peek and told you I loved it too much to put in my tutorial bundle. Okay, so let's get started. As I mentioned at the beginning, there are a few different techniques that we're going to be using for this card. And the first one I'm going to do is one that is actually really easy and simple to do, and anybody can do it with just a couple of supplies. So I'm going to use our decorative masks to create a background on my card base here, okay? So, sorry, on my card layer. And I'm using gray granite, and I'm also going to use gray granite ink. And so the way that I'm going to do this is I probably could use some Post-it tape to hold everything down, but I'm just going to eyeball it and just make sure that this line of dots is aligned with the edge of the cardstock, which I can see through. Hopefully, okay, I think I need to move this up a little bit. And hang on, maybe I'm gonna move this closer. I'm feeling like I'm gonna get cut off a little bit. All right, hopefully you can see everything. If not, let me know. So I'm just taking my blending brushes and I'm just pushing that into my ink pad here, my gray granite. And I'm just gonna take a little off and I'm gonna start to use that blending brush and go in circular motion over the decorative masks. You can probably see some of the residual glitter and embossing paste on my decorative masks. I probably didn't clean it off in time, and so I've got this stuck on embossing paste and glitter on here, but it's not really affecting the utility of the mask. I should probably not talk while I do this because I'm shifting things around here. Okay, so I'm just going over it a few times. Want to make sure that I'm getting most of the dots. And this is just going to create a fun polka dotted background on my card. Just going to do a little bit along this edge here. We'll see what sort of surprise I end up with. It looks different each time. Okay, let's see. All right, that's not too bad. So you see, you can just create a fun background. So if you don't have a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, or you just don't feel like doing texture embossing, you can still add some fun interest to your card by adding a background using the decorative masks, okay? So you just need the masks, you need an ink pad, and you need some form of sponge or blending brush to be able to apply the ink. So I love the way that that background turned out, and I'm using a tone on tone. So I'm gonna just use the gray granite layer on a gray granite card base. I'm just going to burnish my card base and then we'll set this aside. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is our stamping. Okay, so I'm going to use 2 of the stamps from the from the Art Gallery stamp set. And I can move my gray granite ink out of the way now. And so I'm going to start by stamping first. There's 2 images that overlap each other. These are 2-step stamps. And so you start with, I usually start with the larger of the 2 images to create the outline. And then the second one is usually where the more detail is added. And I'm going to start with this one in Petal Pink. And I'm actually going to use the Gilded Leafing for the second stamp. So let's start with this one here. I'm just going to stamp that straight down. There we go. And that'll dry a little bit lighter. And while that's drying, I'm going to get all the things ready that I need to apply the Gilded Leafing. And actually, maybe before I do that, I'm going to stamp my sentiment. So I'm using the sentiment from the In Bloom stamp set because I did find the sentiments from the Art Gallery stamp set a little bit small for the label I was using. So I've cut my label out from the Tasteful Label dies. And I'm using from the In Bloom stamp set the greeting that says, "You are amazing." And I'm going to stamp it a little bit to the left of the label because the right is going to get covered by my flower. Okay, and I just did that in Night of Navy. So we'll put that aside as well as that stamp. And let's start with our gilded leafing. So to do the gilded leafing, you need a couple of things. You need, hi, good morning, Sonia. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so you need your heat and stick powder. You need your gilded leafing. So I have transferred mine from the container that it comes in into a larger container. And someone had told me that I probably should have done this in a cardboard box because it does have a little bit of static now, but I figured that the process from transferring this to a cardboard box would be pretty messy for me. So I'm gonna stick with this. So you need your heat and stick, you need your Versamark ink, and this is to actually apply the image, and then you need your heat tool. So let me get all of that ready, and I will show you how to use this. So first start by stamping your more detailed image over the first image. Let me move this out of the way so I don't dump it everywhere. So I'm just inking that up really well. And I'm just kind of following the lines of the stamp to figure out where this can be stamped. And it's very forgiving. So two-step stamping is very forgiving. So it's going to look different, a little different each time, but it'll still look beautiful. So you pull that off, and then I'm just going to use, I have like a little embossing powder tray, and I'm just going to use that to cover the heat and stick powder over the area where I just stamped. So I don't know if you can see that, but there is kind of this powdery layer over this stamp. Okay, so we're going to apply our heat and stick, our gilded leafing over that after we've heated it. And let me just move this out of the way, and we'll do our gilded leafing. So in case you missed the last video where I used this, when you put your heat and stick powder, you want to heat it, but you don't leave the heat tool over your paper as long as you would when you were if you were doing heat embossing. Okay, so you just want to heat it to the point where the powder starts to glisten, and as soon as it does that, you stop heating it, because if you actually make it too hot or heat it for too long, the gilded leafing will not stick to it. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean. It's just going to take a few seconds. You want to heat up your heat tool a little bit before you go to your cardstock. Just make sure it gets good and hot. Okay, so that is it. And so now what that does is, you can see that it's glistening, and what that does is it will make it a little bit sticky. So I can now take my gilded leafing, and I'm just going to apply it. It looks really messy, but it has a really beautiful effect. So I'm just covering all the shiny spots. Okay, so just really covering that up. You're just pressing it down. It's so light and flaky, and it just feels really fun. And then I'm going to take my stamping sponge. I just keep one in the box here, and I'm just going to remove the excess here. Let's see if there are any spots that I've missed. Probably, but still looks beautiful. And then if you see that it's not sticking that well, you can go ahead and apply it again. I probably pulled this off with my sponge. There we go, that's a little bit better. And the heat and stick, the gilded leafing you can use with all of our adhesives, sorry. So you can use it with liquid glue, you can use it with tear and tape, you can use it with glue dots, dimensionals, all sorts of fun ways that you can apply the gilded leafing. So then you're just gonna flick off the excess, and now you can see you've got this beautiful gilded leafing layer over that flower. So that's it for that. Good morning, Sandra. Yes, I love the gilded leafing too. I was scared of it at first, I won't lie, but now I love it. It's well worth kind of, you know, the effort to learn it. I always see this saying that says, be prepared to, or don't be afraid to suck at something new, or something like that. I think that like essentially, don't be afraid to be bad at something new. We are all, you know, beginners at something we haven't done before, but then once you try it and you practice it, you'll start to become better at it. So if you've been afraid of the gilded leafing, give it a try. What's the worst that could happen? It'll just create this really big mess on your desk, right? Okay, so I'm just using my mini cut and emboss machine, and I've used the die from the Floral Gallery dies, I think they're called. And I've just die cut that. Okay, is that what they're called? Yes, Floral Gallery dies. And I better put this away before I lose it. Okay, we are almost, I think we're ready to assemble. So I've got my decorative mask, my polka dotted background. I've got my die cut flower. I've got my sentiment. And then here's the designer series paper, which, did I cut this longer than this one? Nope, that's the same size. So I've cut this at 3 inches by 4.5 inches. So it's covering a pretty good surface area of the card. And then if you're wondering where this piece came from, I actually cut this from the Be Mine stitched framelits. These are in our annual catalog, and they have all sorts of fun hearts in them. So there are stitched hearts, solid hearts, and then there are like these detailed heart backgrounds. And then there's this really fun border die that I just thought would be fun to add here. So let me start to put this together. I'm just going to put a strip of Stampin' Seal here, and then I'm going to stick this down onto the border die here. Okay, there we go. So I just took a 1-inch strip and then just ran it through the cut and emboss machine using my using that border die, and then I will put this down. There we go. So I like the tone-on-tone look here. You could do it on a white card base. You could do it on a pink card base. Oh, Cheryl, I'm just seeing your comment. Hello, good morning. And good morning, Cindy. You love both the techniques, both you've never done, background masking and the gilded leafing. Well, I hope that you'll give it a try, Cheryl, because both are really easy. And I've seen some of the stuff you do, and this will be a walk in the park for you. All right, so I like that you can, you know, I've obviously covered a lot of the decorative masking, and for those of you that watched me do it, you probably know that I could have just done the outline, but it's just fun to kind of cover the whole thing. And so anyway, you still do see it on the background and on the sides of it. So I think it looks really pretty. So I'm going to now use the Fine Art ribbon. I love this ribbon. It's got this gold kind of tinsel woven through it. So it's just got a little bit of rustic, but glimmer and shimmer, and it's just beautiful. So I'm going to cut a piece that's about, well, I don't even know how long it is. I'm going to cut maybe like 6 or 8 inches, but I don't think I'm going to use that much. So let me move that aside. And then I'm just going to do, let's see where the bottom is. So I'm going to start here. And then I'm just going to put my index finger here to move it in the next direction. And then again, put my finger here. Oh, I cut just enough. I thought I would have had some extra there. So it's just kind of going back and forth. You can fray the edges as well. You can see that it's fraying a little bit here, but I'm just going to actually cut that on an angle and just trim that one here too. Okay, so we're almost ready to put on the finishing touches. I'm going to use dimensionals for this. It's back ordered. I'm sorry. I should check the inventory status report when I'm doing these, planning out my projects, but at least it's back ordered and not non-orderable. So you can still put this on your order. You just might have to wait a little bit to get it. Okay, so I'm sticking this over to the left because I want to leave room for my flower. Now, I want my flower to not be sticking off the edge because then it's going to be hard for me to fit it into an envelope. So I'm going to put a few dimensionals kind of at this part here, and then I don't want to add another dimensional here because then it's going to be too popped up. So I'll add a little bit of Stampin' Seal here just so that it sticks to the greeting piece, and then just eyeball that. We're going to go a little close to the edge here. Let me just get rid of that Stampin' Seal there. There we go. And there you go. What do you think? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But we're not done yet, because if you know me, you know that we need some embellishments. So these are my all-time favorite embellishments. I hope that they never, ever, 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 ever retire these. So if someone from Stampin' Up! Is watching these, please know that that is my request, my humble request. These are the Elegant Faceted Gems. You get them in 3 different colors, 2 different sizes of each. And we've got this beautiful pearlescent one here. And then this is my favorite. You can tell just based on how many have been used. These have a little bit of a pinkish tone to them, but I feel like they can work with almost any color that you use. And then of course we have the clear ones. So I'm still gonna go with the pink here. And I'm gonna just drop 3. 1. I think I might do another small one here. And then I'm gonna do a large one. Good morning, Celia. And that's the last one there. So that's the card. What do you think? Here's the original. It's the same. I think I just need to move this. I think this might have gotten shifted somewhere along the way. Okay, there we go. So there you go. And then of course you don't want to leave your envelope naked, so you can do some different things. You could take a flap of, a piece of designer series paper and put it on the flap right here. Or you could just simply stamp a flower, which I will do with the same flower that I used on the die cut one. And I'm just going to put that in the front bottom right corner. And that is it. So there's your envelope, there's your card, there's the original. I'm going to read the comments to see what you guys think of it. Do you guys love it? Is anyone feeling brave now to go ahead and use the Gilded Leafing if you haven't already? Thank you, Heather. Good morning. Oh, good morning, Margaret. I'm glad you guys like the card. Again, I will put the instructions and the measurements on the description of the video, and I'll still put a link to the online store and the host code and all the things. So if you saw anything that we used today that you'd like to order, please feel free to do that in my online store. And like I said, you will get some awesome gifts for ordering. If your order is over $50 this month, you'll get 2 embellishments and 2 huge tutorial bundles containing a total of 23 tutorials. So thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I hope you all have a fabulous day. I'm going to quickly make sure I haven't missed any comments. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Carolyn. Yes, Shelly, go ahead and case it. That, you know, that's like the ultimate form of flattery. And for those that might have joined late, I was just showing the other card that I did that was inspired by the same color combo, but using a completely different stamp set. So I'm happy to hear that some of you like this, and thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you all have a fabulous day and week ahead, and we'll see you on Wednesday evening at 8:30 Eastern time. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.